Congratulations, your life is now officially over. I cruelly remind myself, trying to make sure I don't forget the sorrow over my predicament. The mirror shows my green eyes flickering with my constant state of self-loathing. I stare at my miserable reflection, showing my unrecognizable body. I'm filled with disgust as I notice the unwanted metamorphosis ravaging my once vibrant and tight skin. I pick at the undesirable purple stretch marks from my stomach to my thighs. Who are you? I ask my reflection, my words slicked with shame. I can feel the heavy weight of my life's uncertainty as my shaky hands cradle the underside of my never-relenting swollen body. It's not moving, but I know what is hiding like a parasite inside me, listening to me while I struggle to grasp the last remnants of my own identity, listening and waiting for its impending arrival. I drop my conscience-stricken gaze at my feet as the butterflies floating in my stomach increases. I part my ginger ringlets that are disheveled around my face. I am embarrassed by the shell of the woman I see now. A girl who was once unafraid and full of velocity turned into a stranger right before my very eyes. I scoff at the ugliness of this extra-large plaid blouse. What's the point? They all know the truth now anyway. Hiding won't change the fact now. Nothing will. It's over. I rush it over my head anyway, like an act of defiance to myself. I feel a tender pain in my throat as I try to swallow my emotions. You are not weak, Ophelia Gray. I speak out loud, repeating the words of my mother as a way to stifle the tears back. Those words, those same words that had been drilled into my head my entire life, feel foreign and null. The words that I despised now make me feel nothing at all. Void of emotion and life, I'm left with nothing, except for the everlasting sinking feeling in my stomach as a reminder of what's to come. The room remains still and quiet around me, but the air feels thick and suffocating. Sometimes I think the universe is mocking me. My tears continue to build. As a last-ditch effort, I draw in a deep breath and tightly shut my eyes before they can spill over. Take me back in time. Please, just take me back. I beg and plead to the universe. Alas, nothing. The universe is determined to make me live out this sick facade. I'm not surprised when I open my eyes to the same disappointing room. I'm used to the universe refusing my bargains ever since my mother died. Sometimes I believe I'm cursed. Maybe for being a bully in school. I never meant to hurt anyone. I was just projecting my own insecurities about being 5'10". Or it's my mother's cruel punishment beaming down from the heavens. After all, my weakness shamed the entire family. If Mom had lived, this would have never happened. I spent my childhood seeking the approval of Mom, though pleasing Sylvia Gray wasn't an easy thing to do. It was nearly impossible. Mom was a high-class woman who paved her way to the top, a high achiever with an even higher set of expectations for her only child. Weakness was unacceptable, and failure was never an option. Mom was continuously setting the bar higher, with the intent of molding me into the woman she envisioned me to be. A relentless, tough love that never delivered the reward I so desperately needed. I shudder at the thought of my mother bearing witness to my current self. The way her mouth would scowl in disappointment, how her cheeks would flush red and intensify her green eyes. Her ginger curly hair would dance like fire around her head. I think back to the last time I remember seeing Mom that angry. I was a feisty teenager, and I had just crashed my parents' car right into the neighbor's mailbox during my first driving lesson with my father. My father, John, had saved the day and faulted himself for the collision. I will never forget the way my mother's eyes pierced into my soul that night. Later on, when I had snuck into the kitchen to get something to eat, he'd come in too. When he looked at me and saw that I was still sulking, he had walked over, given me a pat on the back. Without saying anything, I knew how much he loved me. John's love acted as a force field, bouncing Mom's words off. I knew I was wrong, but I no longer felt stupid, bad, or hated. I was Daddy's girl from that moment on, Never again skipping fishing with my dad for seeing my best friend Paige. Remembering this now made a small smile appear on my face, only for a couple of seconds. My reality hit me again, and I was reminded that I had very little to be happy about. I told myself I had to frown. I hadn't earned the right to smile. I'm 21 now. I was always full of zest and was the kind of girl people described as a well-rounded young lady. But lately, my actions had put a damper on that beautiful, fiery personality. I'm constantly brainless these days, and the opposite of beautiful. Even worse, I'm feeling less and less like my mom lately. I miss Mom daily. Without her, I'm just a fuck-up. I grab my keys and phone. I have 3 missed calls. 2 from Paige, my childhood best friend, and 1 from my dad. My dad texts me, "I'm almost there. Don't leave the house." As I go to reply, "Don't, I'm already late and I need to go." Paige has left me a voicemail, and I sympathetically decide to listen to this one before deleting like the rest. "Look, I get that you're having a hard time. I can't imagine losing your mom the way you did, but I'm sad too. I need you in my life. You've been my rock since 4th grade. Please let me be there for you when you have the Well, I'll stop bothering you now. Just think about what I said, okay? I miss my best friend, O." I didn't finish the voicemail before hanging up. I can't handle this today. I nearly trip over my old running shoes by the door. I won't be needing those for a few months. I don't actually think that's funny, but the humor quells the depression. I pat the yellow tabby cat. "You still love me, huh, bud?" As I exit the house, I check the weather. I mutter, "Great, a storm."